I think that there is a real chance that we could get a rematch between Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. And that particular situation would wind up being.
Following Ryan Garcia's triumph over Devin Haney, boxing fans are excitedly anticipating a rematch between Tank Davis and the CEO of Mayweather Promotions seems quite dismissive of this bout happening, despite the fact that boxing fans and the industry feel it may happen. Take a look.
Well, Ryan's calling for a rematch with Gervonta.
Ryan Garcia can't beat Tank Davis, and he knows that. He knows it. He knows that. He shared the ring with him. He knows that.
El was upset when asked about the fight that was occurring at a catchweight, and this is how he answered. Take a look.
So even if the fight were to take place at a catchweight,
I'm not getting into commenting on no details about the weights and none. That motherfucker can't beat Tank Davis, period.
Leonard Elbay believes that a rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia will never happen. But what has he said about this highly anticipated fight? Stay tuned and watch what we learn in today's video. Tank and Garcia fought last year at a 135-pound catchweight, where Tank defeated Kingry by a 7th-round knockout. That fight was controversial because Kingry fought at a weight well below his usual 140-pound limit. As a result, the boxing world is interested in this rematch, and many want to see who wins without a rehydration clause and other restrictions for Kingry. In order to make this big fight happen, Fanon Boxing thinks that both sides will work out a deal. Fanon specifically emphasizes how both camps and the boxing community as a whole must work together. The conversation also covers the challenges of planning a fight with this level of attention, as well as the responsibilities that different promoters and stakeholders play. Despite this, Fanon is optimistic about the rematch, saying it may be one of the greatest fights in the past 10 years. He attributes this to the participation of organizations such as Turkey's Al Hayek, a Saudi Arabian businessman who has been promoting high-profile fights. This backing is interpreted as a sign that there is significant financial support and interest in holding the rematch. In addition, the host touches on the conflicting opinions and issues surrounding the first match, especially the assertions that Ryan Garcia was exhausted, implying that Ed El had an impact on his performance. The presenter bemoans the inconsistent nature of the boxing community, wherein fighter-by-fighter pardons are approved, despite the fact that fans are eagerly awaiting these two fighters' rematch. Garcia recently discussed his feelings over this battle.
I'm gonna beat Frank Martin, but if he did, he wouldn't fight me because I'm moving up. I'm not doing 140, I'm going 147. I can't make fucking 140. I never even technically fought at 140. I fought every time at 147.
When asked if he would accept a rematch with Tank after his victory over Devin Garcia, Garcia seemed dismissive, citing his promotion to the welterweight class as justification. That being said, Garcia didn't completely rule out Tank, as he recently challenged the unbeaten lightweight champion to a fight, making everyone want to talk about the little stupid Tank. Come see me at 144. We can fight and put an end to this absurd discussion. Jaunt, if you prevail over Frank, we can run it. Oscar de la Hoya, Garcia's promoter, has also stated that any discussion on a rematch would only be allowed under Garcia's conditions. He has also brushed off any talk of a fight taking place for less than 140 pounds. Even though there is interest in this rematch, it is unlikely that negotiating this fight will be easy. De La Hoya said, "Look, Ryan Garcia told me he can't make 140, so he would want the fight at 143 or 144. So yeah, if anyone wants to fight him, call me at 144. We'll make the fight happen, but I have to sit down with Ryan. I have to sit down with his team, figure out a plan, and then go from there." Tanks. Additionally, Mayweather Promotions expressed doubt that this bout would occur. Leonard Ayer, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, recently spoke with Fight Hub TV about his opinions on the rematch. Erb highlighted that, considering their prior meeting and general skills, Ryan Garcia has very little chance against Gervonta Davis. Ayer commented on Garcia's performance and insisted that, despite Garcia's confidence and improvements since the fight, the fundamental dynamics between the two fighters have not changed. Davis's skills and fight IQ are significantly superior, and Garcia knows from their previous bout that he cannot defeat Davis. Garcia's claims that, according to Arab, circumstances like weight issues were the reason for his defeat are merely excuses rather than valid reasons. He strongly reiterated that, in the event of a rematch, the outcome would probably remain the same, with Davis winning thanks to his superior boxing abilities and ring intelligence. The discussion also touched on the wider implications of such a high profile, while acknowledging the fight's importance for drawing in crowds and sustaining interest in the sport. Arab kept his attention on the business side of things, pointing out that decisions about fight specifics like weight classes and rematches would be made based on what makes sense from a promotional and financial standpoint. Both parties have ruled out the possibility of a rematch occurring, but it's not entirely out of the question. For those who are curious about Tank, there may be future discussions for a rematch, with Kingery given Tank's next high-profile battle on June 15. Frank Martin will face Davis in about a month. Tank is making a comeback in this bout, having defeated Ryan the previous year. Many people are looking forward to this bout since both fighters have a deep amateur background, and Frank Martin is considered a genuine contender who might win over Tank. The boxing community has expressed its ideas and predictions for this clash.
It's a good fight. I think that Frank has ability. I think that Tank may know a little bit too much stuff. I can go run him into some shots that he maybe didn't want to get hit.
Pro boxing Chandler Davis thinks Tank will win this battle with ease. The experience difference between the two fighters was cited by Davis as a key factor. He acknowledged Frank Martin's skills but asserted that Grant Davis has a deeper reservoir of experience, particularly at the highest levels of competition. Davis claimed that this experience gives Gervonta an advantage in handling stressful situations and making tactical decisions during the fight. Davis also discussed the style matchup. Chiron, though he downplayed the significance of their stance. Davis pointed out that both fighters are southpaws, which often gives them an advantage against orthodox fighters but may cancel out when facing each other. This suggests that skill and strategy will be more important in determining the outcome than the novelty of a southpaw versus southpaw matchup to make the fight competitive. Chiron Frank Martin needed to play filthy, Davis said, by taking advantage of any lulls in the other team's offense and dodging big shots. He emphasizes how critical it is to take advantage of Grant's weak spots in order to gain points and possibly turn the tide in his favor when it comes to predictions. Chiron Davis appeared confident in Gervonta's ability to dominate the battle and ultimately gain a decisive victory based on his superior ring generalship and ability to successfully exploit his opponent's flaws, as evidenced by his decision to end the fight around the 7th round. This prediction demonstrates Chiron Davis's respect for Gant's ring acumen, as well as his general opinion that Gant has the skills and background to end the bout in the middle rounds, even if Martin has a great start. Mexican boxer Leo Santa Cruz also offered his bout predictions and some guidance for the young fighter taking on his first significant challenge.
You think Frank has to take a page out of your book and you kind of have to bully the bully? Like,
yeah, of course, yeah, that's what he has to do. I think Frank Martin is bigger, so I think he has to push him, be on top of him if he wants to beat him.
In his opening remarks, Santa Cruz acknowledged the difficulty of the fight and stated that both fighters would be trying to land big shots. He also expressed his opinion that despite the fight being competitive and challenging because of their styles and tactical approaches, Gant Davis would ultimately prevail. Santa Cruz speculated that Davis might win by decision or perhaps by stopping Martin if he was able to land some big punches. He made it clear that Frank Martin would need to use a more aggressive approach, similar to bullying the bully, in order to defeat Davis. Reflecting on his own fight against Davis, Santa Cruz shared that his mistake was staying too stationary and trying to please the fans with an exciting fight rather than focusing on mobility. He advised Martin to learn from this by incorporating movement and avoiding being a static target for Davis's powerful shots. Santa Cruz suggested that Martin's larger size could be leveraged to his advantage by maintaining pressure and staying on top of Davis throughout the fight. As a whole, Santa Cruz showed admiration for the skills of both fighters, but she appeared to favor Davis's background and track record of triumphing over difficult opponents when making decisions. Additionally, Ryan Garcia offered his prediction for this bout.
I'm going to go with Frank because I'm going to be there every step of the way and put him on game. Like, this is what he likes to do. This is what he will do.
This could be your second fight.
Stopping him? Do you think he'll end up stopping Gervonta?
Garcia, who has fought Davis before and is acquainted with Frank Martin from the boxing scene, provided a distinctive viewpoint on the battle. Garcia acknowledged having a personal bias in favor of Frank Martin and promised to stand by him during the fight's preparation. He also stated that he planned to give Martin advice on how to counteract Davis's fighting style and preferences. When asked if he thought Martin could actually stop Davis, Garcia remained evasive, saying that while he hopes for a strong performance from Martin, the outcome of such a high-stakes fight can be unpredictable. His predictions were cautiously optimistic about Martin's chances but stopped short of declaring a definitive outcome. Garcia stated that Martin might have a real chance to succeed against Davis with the right game plan and execution. Ryan Garcia's remarks demonstrate his confidence in Martin's ability and his desire to witness a close battle. His forecasts highlight the unpredictability and dynamics of boxing, where preparation and strategy can tip the scales, but the real world frequently writes its own tale. What do you think of Tank's impending fight against Frank Martin? Who wins this bout, and would you be interested in seeing Tank face Garcia again? That's it for today. Please let us know in the comments and remember to like as well as join the channel. We appreciate your attention and hope to see you in future videos. Turn on the bell to receive the most recent alerts so you never miss out on videos like this one.